You know that feeling when you're searching for something, but you can't even put your finger on what it is? Well, believe it or not, an ancient text, the Lotus Sutra, has this really powerful way of looking at that exact feeling. And it all kicks off with this one kind of startling statement. Let's dive in. All living beings are suffering. Whoa. I mean, that's pretty direct, right? It hits you. And your first thought might be, wow, that's bleak. But hang on, what if that's not the end of the story? What if it's actually the complete opposite, the first absolutely essential step to understanding something much, much bigger? Okay, so let's start here with this big idea of universal suffering. The key thing to get is that this isn't supposed to be some depressing final verdict on life. It's more like a really honest look in the mirror. It's the diagnosis, the starting point, so we can finally figure out the way forward. And you know, what's really interesting is where this statement comes from. It's not some dry rule in a book. Nope. It's actually from a story, a parable told by Śākyamuni Buddha himself. And knowing that it's part of a story changes everything. It helps us see it not as a dead end, but as, the beginning of a quest. All right, so if that's the diagnosis, universal suffering, then what's the cause? What's the why behind it all? And this is where it gets good, because the sutra doesn't just drop this heavy idea on us and walk away. It uses these incredible metaphors to explain exactly how we got here. So the text points to four main things. First, it says we're basically blind. We just can't see the path forward clearly. Second, there's no leader, so we're just wandering around, totally lost. On top of that, we're stuck and have no idea how to break the cycle. And here's the real kicker. We don't even realize we should be looking for a way out, looking for what the text calls emancipation or real freedom. It's a picture of being completely and utterly lost. And this really gets to the heart of it. The text describes our state as a long night. And what are we doing in this long night? We're just busy trying to get things, right? More stuff, a better job, more followers, more experiences. We are absolutely convinced that if we just acquire one more thing, then we'll be happy. And this leads to this really powerful line. They go from darkness to darkness. It's this tragic loop, isn't it? We think all this getting is going to lead us to the light, but it doesn't. It just keeps us trapped, hopping from one kind of empty feeling to the next. And we're so busy doing it, we can't hear the one thing that could actually help us. Okay, but here's the thing. This is not where the story ends. Not even close. In fact, this is the big pivot. The problem has been laid out, clear as day, and now the whole narrative shifts. It starts turning toward the light, toward the solution. And that's really the promise at the core of this whole thing, That diagnosis of suffering, it's not the last word. It's just the setup. It's the before picture, right before the big reveal of how to get through it. So the logic here is actually super simple. It's almost like a riddle. The problem's been laid out for us. We're blind, and we don't have a leader. So, what's the one thing we need more than anything else? And the answer the text gives is an enlightened being. Now, hold on. This isn't about some king or a boss who tells you what to do. That's not it at all. The whole point of this leader is what they do. They don't give orders. They help us see the world for what it really is, without all the filters of our own wants and fears getting in the way. And this is where it all comes together. That need for a guide, for someone to help us see, it's not just some abstract philosophical idea. The text makes a pretty bold claim that the guide is right here. It's embodied in the wisdom of the Lotus Sutra itself. So you can see the direct line here, right? On one hand, we have the need. We need an enlightened guide to show us the way out of the darkness. And on the other hand, we have the answer, the Lotus Sutra. It's presented as the living, breathing embodiment of the Buddha's most important teaching. And maybe this is the most powerful part of the whole idea. This wisdom isn't some ancient relic stuck in the past. The sutra is treated like a bridge across time. It means that the same guidance, the same clarity, it's available for you, for me, right here, right now. So let's wrap up with this thought. The text says the guide is here, the wisdom is available, the map out of that long night has been drawn. So really, there's only one question left, and it's a question each of us has to answer for ourselves. What will it take for us to actually stop and listen?